to talk to you about how money works. So, we're talking about Americans, okay? Us, how we live, and how money works for us, so we think. Get a paycheck, right? Goes into your checking account, which you then pay bills with, right? And then any money left over after you pay your bills, by the end of the month, what are you doing with that money? Well, most people either save to spend it later, right? Delayed spending, or maybe you pay some debts off, right? Or they spend more of the money, or if they're kind of smart, they'll invest it somewhere: stocks, bonds, mutual funds, IRAs, Roth IRAs, whatever the case. And what ends up happening is they lock the money up, whether it be in a CD or some sort of investment account that turns into a paper asset, right? And they actually don't have access to the money if they needed to pay their bills or something happens while they're living, right? They're trying to think about retirement, and it's actually messing them up, okay? So this is how most Americans live, right? Paycheck to paycheck, right? Their idea of retirement or financial stability or financial success is I need to work, pay my bills, whatever I have left over will get used to either save it, invest it, put it away under the mattress, and we're going to hope and pray that we have enough money when we reach 59 and a half or 65 years old into our retirement years that we'll have the same money. And that is, absolutely false. Doesn't work like that, okay? So that's how most Americans live. I want to say like 80% or more. And so I want to tell you how wealthy people live, okay? Rich people, whether it be in the mindset or, in their actual businesses, right? And you can start out with this kind of money, doing it, okay? So this isn't exclusive to the wealthy and rich only, right? So we have, this is how wealthy people live, okay? They have 3 types of income. There's only 3 types in the world, in my opinion. Okay, that's either investment income, business income, or paycheck money, commissions, what have you, right? Boom. So you can agree with me on that or not. It's okay. But if I was to condense all that money into like 3 or 4 places, I'm going to say there's only 3 ways to make money in this world. That's either investment income, so I'm just going to label it as II. Okay, business income, or paycheck money, right? Salary, hourly, commission base, bonuses, etc. So wealthy people go ahead and they establish credit, right? Credit cards, lines of credit, loans, hard money, HELOCs, all that good stuff. Okay? And so what these people do is they use credit to pay their expenses and use their income to pay the debt. They're using the same money twice like most Americans do, right? They get their money, they immediately pay the bill, or when it's due, or even late, or whatever, right? And then the money that they have left over, which in other terms is their cash flow, they're either then saving it, then they pay a debt, then they spend it some more, then they invest it. Wealthy people like to use other people's money to pay their bills, to pay their debts, to invest other people's money in properties, in businesses, right? And then the income streams that they get right? Whether it be one of these or all three, doesn't matter. The income that they then get every week, every month, whatever it is, they pay the debt 30 to 60 days later, because this buys them time. Credit buys you time. That's really, I think, the main purpose of having credit, is so that you have time to pay off whatever it is that you use. Most people use credit to buy something they can't afford, right? And then they assume, well, if I just make the minimum payment over time, I'll pay it off. That's fine, but you end up actually paying what's called interest, fees, and taxes on all that money, which leaves you in this spiral, this never-ending paying, instead of what you originally thought in your mind would work was, I'm just going to use the money left over to spend my money and have some left over so that I can live, without working, to have money left over in my retirement years and while I'm living. So if you're first starting out, you're first learning about money, I suggest you learn this right here, which teaches people how to use credit, pay your expenses, use your income, pay the credit. You got 30 to 60 days to pay it. The only way this works is if you have cash flow. Okay? This concept right here is another term for it. I call it velocity banking. A lot of real estate investors use this strategy to buy properties, or they use it to pay off their own mortgages in 5 to 7 years rather than 30 years. And then they save money on the interest, which then they use to get more properties, right? Or to get a business, to buy education, to further their mind, okay? So, in a nutshell, this is how money works for most Americans, and it doesn't work, okay? And then we have this way, a very simple way of establishing credit to lower expenses, to increase my cash flow, and to kill debt simultaneously using your own income. So you don't have to use any more of your own money. You're simply rearranging how you spend your money and how you use it to get out of debt, to increase your cash flow, lower expenses, and raise your credit score simultaneously using your own income. That sounds pretty good to me. So, that is lesson 1.